Philly cheesesteak pairs best with medium-bodied red wines such as Merlot, Cabernet Franc, Zinfandel, Syrah, Beaujolais, or Pinot Noir. Beer will go much better with Philly cheesesteak than wine in my opinion, but a crisp Riesling or a bubbly sparkling wine such as Prosecco will offer a similar experience as beer. Cabernet Franc is my top pairing with Philadelphia cheesesteak, and this red wine is known for its green bell pepper flavors. As the Philly cheesesteaks I love are often loaded with green peppers and of course onions, a Cabernet Franc complements those vegetable flavors quite well. Aside from green bell pepper notes on the nose, expect lots of notes of raspberry, plum, red cherry, and red currant, along with coffee, earth, cedar, green olives, and pencil shavings. Finding the perfect Cabernet Franc is a bit of a tricky task, unfortunately, as when Cabernet Franc isn't made properly, it can taste downright terrible. Philly cheesesteak is quite salty, so you want a Cabernet Franc that isn't too high in tannin, and it has a bit of acidity to it. The tannin in the Cabernet Franc will meld well with the steak in your Philly cheese sandwich, but you don't want to go too high tannin because it'll mask that sweetness that we all love found in the onions. You also want acidity in your Philly cheesesteak, as these sandwiches are greasy and salty. Acidity comes across as refreshing as it scrubs the grease and salt away, making every bite of your sandwich taste delightful. If you find a Cabernet Franc that hits this criteria, I would give this pairing 4.5 out of 5 stars. Our next pairing is Merlot and Philly cheesesteak pairing, and I give this 4 out of 5 stars. Merlot, provided it is medium-bodied, is another excellent red wine that pairs up great with Philadelphia cheesesteak sandwiches. Cheesesteak often contains provolone cheese, which isn't a fatty cheese, and thus a mellow Merlot won't overwhelm the unique flavors of this tangy cheese. Soft and velvety with flavors of black cherry, cassis, plums, dark chocolate, and vanilla, Merlot imparts an array of additional flavors upon your sandwich without crossing the line and canceling out the mellow flavors of the onion, green peppers, and cheese. Our third pairing is Beaujolais and Philly cheesesteak sandwich, and I give this 3.5 out of 5 stars. Beaujolais Villages or Beaujolais Cru are both excellent choices with Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. My preference is with a Beaujolais Cru, probably a Morgon, as it offers the deeper flavors and it's quite available. I wouldn't shy away from a Beaujolais Villages, which is also quite available, and it's most likely what I'd end up picking up because it's probably the easiest Beaujolais to find. With Beaujolais Villages, you're going to find a fresh young wine that is light and fruity, lots of tart cherry notes, along with refreshing raspberry and strawberry flavors that just enhance your sandwich to new realms. Beaujolais is also acidic, so it'll wash all that salt and fat away from your mouth, making every bite taste like a gift from the heavens above. For Beaujolais Cru recommendations, because it's more of an advanced wine, I would say, or concept regarding wine, just visit my website. The article link below will bring you there, and I go into detail more about Beaujolais Cru and Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. Our fourth pairing is Syrah and Philadelphia cheesesteak pairing. I give this 3.5 out of 5 stars. Shiraz and Syrah are the same grape. Syrah often refers to an old world style that focuses more on the savory spectrum of taste. Thus, on top of notes of blackberry and raspberry, you'll find an undercurrent of smoked meat, bacon, olives, rosemary, spice, smoke, and black pepper. Shiraz from Australia is going to be bolder with more fruity flavors and a little less savory. You still get that black pepper note, but expect chocolate, jam, and vanilla to be more pronounced. In North America, Shiraz is the bigger crowd pleaser, but for me, I prefer the old world style of Syrah with Philadelphia cheesesteak. The savory aspect of the smoked meat and bacon quality that you get in the wine, along with the green olive and rosemary notes in Syrah, complement all the tasty flavors found in this delicious sandwich. That's why I love this pairing. Wonderful styles of the Syrah can be found in France or California. If you're new to wine and you live in North America, I'd suggest start with California, as French wine labels are sometimes a little harder to decipher. Our final pairing is Prosecco and Philly cheesesteak sandwich pairing, and if you love beer with your Philly cheesesteak, I'd suggest Prosecco because it's a bubbly white wine that can range from dry, off-dry to sweet. With Philly cheesesteak, dry or off-dry will work, but my preference is dry, and of course, it's a matter of your preference as well. Off-dry essentially means it's a touch sweet. There's just like a kiss of sweetness. It isn't like candied sweet. Prosecco is similar to beer in that it's carbonated, so it again has bubbles, but unlike beer, you'll get additional notes of almonds, apples, pears, lemon, toast, and yeast. A big part of the Philly cheesesteak experience is the bread, or the hoagie bread, or the roll it's served on. And with that, the toasty notes of Prosecco mingle perfectly with that component. Meanwhile, the apple, pear, and lemon flavors offer a ton of refreshment against this meaty sandwich's greasiness and saltiness. Champagne, which is another sparkling wine, it's from a region of France, will pair better in this instance, as the toasty and yeasty flavors are far more pronounced, but with champagne you often have to pay a little more, which is why I suggest Prosecco first if you're new to wine. This way you can dip your toe in the water, see if you like this pairing, and upgrade later on if it's a combination you love. If this video helped you out, please give it a like. It helps more people find my videos. And also, if you want more food and wine recommendations, be sure to visit my website, What to Pair. Link is below. On the homepage, I got a great little food and wine database. You just type in the food or wine or beer you're interested in pairing up with, and the database spits out all the great recommendations along with rankings. Anyway, until next week, cheers.